What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Superior Products YouTube channel. If you are new and just tuning in, hello. And if you are coming back for more, welcome back. We have something very special in store for you. I know how much you guys probably like watching me fake my way through the detail world and you know, pretend to know what I'm doing. But today we have brought in a drum roll, a professional detailer. So I would like to introduce you guys to Stevie. This is Stevie with Blackout Detail, and he is actually local. He's near our area. So we reached out, we've been communicating with one another, and it just worked out. So we are very thankful that he was able to come in today and just bring something different to the table for you guys. So, you know, you get a little bit more action, a little bit more, I think he's probably gonna know what he's doing a little bit more than I do. And like I've mentioned in my other videos, I know what goes into the product. I know the raw materials that we need to make the products work great and how to make it cost effective for you guys. But when it comes to actually using the products, that may not be my forte. Is forte the right word to use there? Forte is the right word. So before I waste any more of your time, I'm gonna hand it over to Stevie, and I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about his business and how he got started.
Cool. Well, thanks, Gigi. Hi, guys. My name's Stevie. I am running Blackout Detail out of Troy, Illinois. We specialize in interior and exterior details, wash, wax, ceramic coatings, window coatings, just really the whole gamut. And I'm excited today to feature some of the products that we use in-house and we use on a daily basis. So looking forward to showing you guys kind of the ropes.
All right, well, thank you guys so much, and I hope that you enjoy this video.
What's up, guys? So today we've got the Mercedes GLE that we're going to tackle on interior and exterior. What I like to do first is do a quick walkthrough on the exterior and interior and see what challenges we've got to tackle. So we're going to start with the front. Typically this time of the year, the thing we always run into are bugs. So we've got a specific product that we can use to address those. Then we walk down the side. The next thing I like to look at is the wheels and the tires. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna address the inner barrels, the rims, and the tires. Just looking at them, figuring out how much browning there is and how aggressive we've gotta be. And then we'll also clean the inner fender well and get that dressed so it's nice and shiny. Then the typical thing we run into is what we call road grime or road film. Typically that's the half or quarter panel all the way down the car. Just a typical hand wash should address most of that. Then coming around the back, this is where a lot of the dirt typically collects, even on clean cars. So we'll hit the window and all the other crevices under the windows and down on the trim and everything in there. And then the other spot I like to keep an eye on is the windshield. Sometimes you've got rock chips and stuff like that. This one, we've got a nice bird poo that we're going to address. And the last thing I check out is the engine bay. All of my details come with an interior engine bay cleaning and dressing. So this one's not too bad. Typically they're pretty dusty, especially for trucks. So we'll get this all cleaned, degreased, and dressed. So it's back to factory. Don't forget your grit guards. Put those in your bucket. That's gonna help trap all your dirt and sand and trap it on the bottom so it doesn't get caught in your wash mitts. And we'll get our wash mitts, get those soaking in our clean water. And we'll get our wheel brushes. Got an assortment today, never know what you're gonna run into. So we've got a bucket here filled with 4 ounces of Dirt Buster. And I'll add some Muscle Magic to it too, just to get that extra bite and degrease. I just add usually 2 to 4 ounces of this to your bucket. Here's my measuring cup I always use. This is a little 4 ounce. Just gonna put that's just an extra safety measure, you know, just to help you get your brushes clean and throughout the process. I'm gonna do Dark Fury on the wheels. And does she have any Muscle Magic already mixed up? All right, so what we're gonna do for the wheels is we're gonna use Dark Fury for the wheels, and we're gonna mix up some Muscle Magic, which is the cleaner degreaser for the wheels and the fender wells. So this, they recommend using, you can use it up to 4:1. For super, you know, greasy grime, you can use it all the way down to 1:1. Today, I think we're gonna try and use it down to 4:1. So I've got my water already in my bottle. Put 4 ounces in here based on the water I've already got in there. Sprayer on. Always want to make sure you shake up your chemicals before you get them to use. Let's get our equipment set up and we will be ready to go. So first thing we're gonna do is prime our pump on our pressure washer. Before you turn it on, run the water through it. Make sure you get all the air bubbles out of your line and out of the pump. So once you get a steady stream like this, no bubbles, no sputtering, you're ready to hook up your equipment. Head on, get our tip in. We're ready to go. Okay, so first thing I like to do before I get started is just hose down the whole car. Today we have the luxury of working indoor. If you're working outdoor, definitely don't do that because you get water spots super easy. But since we're indoor, I'm gonna go ahead and hose the whole thing down and we'll get started on the wheels first, then work on to the body. Another tip for you guys, if you've got kind of a store-bought pressure washer, definitely invest in one of these short guns. It lets you really get up in all the crevices of the fender wells and in your wheels. All right, so let's get started on the tires. So we've got our Muscle Magic for the tires. We've got our Dark Fury for our rims. And I like to get a good coat on there first, let it soak in, eat away at some of that grease. And then I'll also use this for the fender well, help loosen up some of that dirt. And while that's soaking in, use our Dark Fury. You can use this liberally. You wanna make sure you get everything coated, even the inside. Be careful with this one in the sun. Make sure whenever you're working on wheels, really whenever you're working on a car, don't let any of your chemicals dry to your car. So I like to work my way from inside out, but that's just personal preference. So we've got a nice little easy detail brush here. And we'll work on our rims. And if you don't have a wheel brush, nice soft wheel brush like this, you can always use a wash mitt. Just make sure that you dedicate that wash mitt to your rims. You don't want to mix your tools from rims and tires to your paint. And next you want to do your wheels. So you can use a nice big one like this or a little hard nylon one like this. I like to use the bigger one. This one's a little bit more aggressive and takes a little bit more work. So I like to use the bigger one. I think I typically get more suds, more cleaning ability because there's more bristles. So you just kind of go at it and you're working until you get your foam white. So if you need to put a little bit more product on it to get it clean, you can do that. Start to see everything just melt off. And last thing, you can use your detail brush to get the fenders. If you're doing engine bays, make sure you're not too close. You don't want to push any water into some of the electricals, but 99% of the time you're good. with water in here, as long as you're not forcing water into places it shouldn't go. So we're gonna pick up our Muscle Magic. Let's give a nice little spray in here. Get everything coated. You can use any of our brushes. Just wanna brush all of our plastics because we're gonna get that clean, and then we'll get it dressed later on once it gets dry. And I like to do this front part too because near the latch is where a lot of the buildup happens too. We're gonna foam today, so I like to fill up my foam cannon first. If you have the option, warm water is always better. It gets you thicker foam. And we're gonna get, depending on how much water you're using, Superior's got 2 soaps. If you're just using it for a foam, you can use the cherry foam. I like to use the Dirt Buster because I like to use it in the foam cannon as well as in a bucket. So if you've got one of the smaller style foam cannons, you can get away with probably about 2 ounces of soap in there. I'm gonna use 4 ounces because I like it a little thick. The thicker foam will last longer in the sun and keep your panels dry. So you're gonna put the cap on. And if you like your foam thicker, shaving cream style, you can use more if you want. Use it liberally. Shake it up, get a good mix. And let's see what we got. All right, so foam cannon's got a little adjuster at the top. So if you're all the way at the bottom, you're as thick as it can go. If you're all the way at the other end, you're kind of a little bit more watery, and so I like to turn it up somewhere in the middle, or heck, all the way up, all the way up. So for all you skeptics out there that don't think Dirt Buster foams, maybe you just need to use it a little bit more. So another quick tip, if you're trying to do what's called a strip wash, you can add a degreaser or an APC, like Muscle Magic is the degreaser. You can add a few ounces of that to your foam cannon, and that'll help strip your wax off and any road grime. That way, if you're putting in a new paint sealant or even a ceramic coating, you're not fighting through any protection that's already on there. Since this is a black car, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse the foam off, but if you've got a light colored car or something that's not really that dirty, you can actually foam your car and just use your wash mitt to wash it really quickly. But today, since this is a black car, we're gonna rinse it and then we're going to wash it with the wash mitts. All right, so we're gonna bucket wash. I've got 4 ounces of Dirt Buster that I'm gonna put in my bucket. Label, I think, recommends 2 ounces, depending on how much water you're using, but again, I like extra suds.
Check it out.
Washing outside or have a black car, Formula 4 spray wax 10-to-1 is your go-to. This stuff is a lifesaver. You can see this panel has very little protection on it. If I wet it down, no sheeting, no beading. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna spray your Formula 4, and you can see it instantly starting to sheet the water. If you're working in sun, you wanna make sure you spray it down as soon as possible. So for you guys who are trying to do a quick wash and wax, Formula 4 10-to-1 is a lifesaver. You can get 11 gallons out of this stuff. So Super cheap and economical. Mostly used for a drying aid though. So if I'm washing a car outside, I'm gonna spray this down. Then I can almost blow dry it or towel dry it. Oh, another benefit is wheels. So wheels don't usually get some love, but this is a really easy and cheap way to wax your wheels. So that'll fight off dirt, brake dust for about 30 days. All right, so aqua gloss. You can use this on interiors, exteriors, wheels. We're gonna use it on the fender wells today to dress those. So we cleaned them, and this will just give that nice final touch. So I've got it at 4:1, and what I like to do is we'll spray it in here. Try not to get on the tire because you're gonna get some slick tires at first. Just like to get a good even coat. If you have a spray gun, you can put this in a spray gun too. Spray it in there, but I like to give it a good liberal coat and then come back with your brush and make sure you get all the little crevices and even it out. And like we talked about, it may be a little streaky at first, but once it dries, it'll be nice and matte finish. All right, so Superior is known for the coverall aerosol. That is the go-to for many detailers, at home guys who are cleaning their cars in the driveway. Today, we've got something new. Let's give it a shake and see how it goes.